Don, this is Mark with Not Square Design. This is that Peck residence. So we've got a special wall. That's why I'm going to have these deck brackets, these MTW deck brackets, to keep the roof away from the main walls. And so we don't have a thermal bridge issue. And so there's exterior insulation and then these bats. So you can pause that, take a look at it. Let's get right into this. And what I'm going to do real quick on this guy is I'm going to turn on just momentarily the wall layer, the framing. Let's get up to it. Framing, wall, bat. There we go. So what you'll see is that these are just battens, and they've got a little bit of space between. They got 3 inches between. They have 3 inches between each stud and each 1x4. That's no concern of yours, except in these locations where the roof meets the wall. And those are over by the garage and right around the dining room. And so the MTW brackets that you see in the link in the email are these guys down in here. And let me turn that layer off so you can see the brackets better. I just wanted to explain that real quick. These are the brackets. They'll have to trim off the bottoms of these guys, and you have the link with all the dimensions, everything you need to know about those. But hopefully that kind of clarifies what I'm doing there. And that occurs here mainly. There's some in here all around where roofs attach to walls. So through there and through around this guy, and then around this last corner and over to the edge. I don't believe there are any more other than that. So just real quick, you'll have the software to do this on your own. I just want to make this quick and short. Basically, the changes that I noticed you didn't have in your plan. So this is where I've got some room issues with the stairs between floors. And then I don't have a lot to work with up here to bring this back, because this wall area that's right in here is in the way. So that the stair run, I will check it and see if I can get those 14 inches in there. I have 12 shown, and if you'd like me to really walk through this for you, I will be glad to. Just give me a holler. As far as downstairs, once we come down, turn around, walk through, and the tubs or the shower's not turned on upstairs, but I can get that on for you. I leave toilets and tubs and showers on so I can see where the drains are. So there's interior bearing through that wall, and then under this girder truss that I left for you up there in the ceiling. So where I was talking about the change, the differences, and it didn't render this portion of the slab very well, but the wall now goes straight out, and that portion of wall through here is now angled over and back out. So yeah, these little patches and stuff I'm not too worried about at this point in time. Try and get those done before we have the material list for the concrete to be correct, but it's not going to be much off because of that. So the other area, I guess, that is different is out here in the garage. And so this is the slab pours up against here, so that's why it's showing that the Nadura block is cut away at the inside. Doesn't have to be. They may keep it, but the program pulled it away when I made the slab go across. So this is overframe to hold the water heater, and then this is a vertical chase area right through here, right at the back of the garage. So I'm going to zoom out of the garage and then come back in, and you'll see that the last bit of this is actually, we get through into the basement through this gap and over into the mechanical room, which is down here. So yeah, if we even had to drop a plenum through here, I don't think Josh would be too upset. These columns, these were in here for need to hold up the balcony above, but once I got this all framed out, I left them in there just in case you guys need them for anything, because they are approved by Josh. They're framed out a little bit so we can get electrical outlets in them. But I'd like to eliminate these 3 posts that are in the basement in the layout room if we can. So if you don't need them, let me know and I'm going to drop them. But that's basically what's going on with this thing. I can't think of any other major concern areas except trying to get my stair runs to work properly. So this one here, this lower stair, it's at the corner, so I can't extend up. And what I was saying is that if we have to, I might be able to see whenever you make a turn, I got to put in a landing, and that just doesn't work. But I might be able to move that wall in 1 tread, which would move your bearing if I have to add a tread. So if we can avoid adding treads, I'll check the number to see, because right now you can see I've got a riser height of 7 1/8, and I'm allowed up to 7 3/4. So I might be able to get more height in there without increasing the number of treads. I'll check that stuff out, see what I can do, and then we'll push this thing up. It'll be some pretty serious rework on my part, but that's the way it goes. So the other area I've got is there's a lot of code to do with spiral stairs, and it can probably come out. Yeah, I think we've got plenty of head clearance. So I could, if I need a couple more steps, I can put those in. They'll just have to come around to here to go up instead of being able to enter from either direction. Be a little bit of an inconvenience, but that's the only solution because I can't really change where the top ends. So all these guys run through, and then I put beams in. If you've got another solution, the program doesn't show standard brackets, so I just assume we've got Simpson brackets for here. So like this guy that's raised, that is 5.5 by 12 in that portion of the garage. To suspend this free span one is 7.5 by 12, and we may have to increase those, or if you're using a truss to do the whole thing, wonderful. Just we got to be careful of the garage door openers. So these are up higher, and this last one that crosses here is 7.5 by 9. That's what I have shown. I have not sized anything because I didn't know what your reactions were yet. So hopefully those will work. And like I said, the toilets here, we got great layout for that. I'm not concerned about the sink. It's just on that same layer. And then upstairs, I'll turn on the tub or the shower so you can see where that drain is, and we can make sure that we don't interfere there. And I think, yeah, the toilet's over here too. So this one lands right in there too if you're working directly with the layout that I provided. So that's it. I'll give you the model. I wanted to keep this as brief as possible. And if you have questions, feel free to give me a holler. And if lighting is doing that to me in my program, I just gotta turn the lights up, turn it back on, say done. And sorry about the last bit of that being kind of dark, but it'll do that when I touch something. So on occasion, this guy up here looks like you've got everything the way that I was talking about. And I assume that the trusses that go down and back up here, you are planning on, we're just going to overframe that so it drains properly. So that all looked fine. This gets a little strange in here. It's difficult for the model to understand it, so I did a lot of manual stuff in here, but I got it pretty darn close. It's mainly the layout that we're looking at. If you have any questions there, this is a true vault in this ceiling. So these were designed as 2x14 to give us the depth we needed for the insulation, but it was the ceiling had ceiling framing in it, but it's not a whole lot lower. And I don't know if that's where you built in your trusses, but just understand that this is a true vault. And I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to just take you in that room real quick. So this is what the house looks like as a whole. So come in the door. I've got this guy here. That's that den. I can chase in this triangle if you need any chases there. I know you put in some horizontal runs for me. And then the more likely area was right behind this wall, and that is in the garage, where I was explaining that we can put in this vertical wall, and that can all be chase area. I can even extend it, because I thought they were putting their chest freezer in the garage. They're not. So we've got all this area to work with, except for we do need area for that. Here's where my issues are with stairs. I come down, get down here at the bottom, and I'm hitting a wall. Don't have a lot of room to work to get through there, so trying to preserve that room. But behind here is the mechanical room. Be nice if it was this wide, but if I have to gain a little bit, I will. Also try and work with those stairs. Like I said, they were not as tall as they could be, but I don't know if I can get to 16. That's my main issue, is trying to get to 16. I could probably get to 14, and then I'll have to change this guy to get out to grade. So these are those posts I was talking about that have the electrical in them. And then this is the room that changed as far as what you saw. So there's the angled wall out to that concrete. This is the computer room in the labeling. Oops, sorry. And then this is the firearms room. So it has kind of a dead space corner there, but it's got a little piece in it so you can clean it. Other than that, I think everything else is the same. This is that continuous wall you're using for bearing. And then on the outside, there's a girder truss that's in the floor system up through here. So anything you can do to help me keep the floor trusses down to 12 would be awesome. But let's see if we can deal with 14s, and I will get you the model. I'm going to get you just the framing model, and I will create a link to this model too, and then I'll ship that along later. So if you have any need to look through the house itself, these are not 2 dining rooms. This is just here so they can choose a table. But if you need to be able to walk through this and understand it, I'll upload that and I'll send you a copy of that too. So you've got everything up to date, can see the model with and without walls. And we're out of here. Thanks, Don.